Hello students. Next let us look at some of the solved examples of sampling. The first question is determine the Nyquist rate of the following signal. So let us solve the first one. A, which is x of t 1 plus cos 2000 pi t plus sine 4000 pi t. There are two methods that we can use to solve this. It's not a very complicated problem. Let me use the first method. In the first method, we take each signal individually. So the first one, the one that we have here, that is basically a DC signal with frequency 0. If you know, DC signal is having a frequency of 0. So this is a DC signal because it is not changing, it's having a constant value. So that is the case. Next you are having cos 2000 pi t, which can be written as, see, we know omega is equal to 2 pi f. So if this is taken as cos omega t, so this omega here is going to be 2000. So if I am going to write this as which can be written as, cos omega t, where omega is equal to 2000 pi. Therefore 2 pi f, omega is 2 pi f. So if I am going to write this as omega m, that is the maximum frequency, the maximum frequency. Now you might be asking, why am I writing maximum frequency? See, cos or sine will have only one frequency. So what that frequency will be the maximum frequency of that signal. There is only one frequency in that. What is that frequency here? So that is going to be 2000 pi. So pi and pi cancels. Therefore Fm is going to be equal to 2000 divided by 2, which comes out to be 1000. Okay. So this is for cos. So I will write this as the M1. Why am I writing M1? Because there is another signal also, which is sine. So sine 4000 pi t can be imagined as sine omega m2t, where omega m2 is going to be 4000 pi. In that case, therefore omega can be written as 2 pi fm2 is going to be equal to 4000 pi. Therefore fm2 can be written as 4000 divided by 2, which comes out to be 2000. So there are only 3 signals here. Okay, therefore I will write, therefore I can draw or I can say, therefore x of t has frequencies multiple. So frequencies, which all are the frequencies? One is 0 Hertz, second is 1000 Hertz, and the last one is 2000 Hertz. Correct? Therefore the maximum frequency is, maximum frequency Fm, according to this, we are having 3 frequencies, out of which the maximum is going to be 2000 Hertz. Therefore the Nyquist rate is going to be Fn, which is 2 times Fm, which is 4000 Hertz. So we have to use a Nyquist rate of 4000 Hertz. And if I am trying to find out the Nyquist interval, the Nyquist interval, which is 1 by Fn, it is going to be 1 divided by 4000, which comes out to be 25 into wait 0.25 into 10 raised to power minus 3 seconds, or 0.25 milliseconds. The second method is, so I will write the second method. So this is method first, this is the method 2. So in method 2, we are having the signal x of t, which is equal to 1 plus cos 2000 pi t plus sine 4000 pi t. So taking Fourier transform of above equation, what do we get? X of t becomes x of omega. Okay, 1, if you try to take the Fourier transform of 1, you will get 2 pi delta omega, correct? 2 pi delta omega plus cosine waveform. If you would, if you remember the Fourier transform of cos omega, what is cos omega t Fourier transform? The cos omega t Fourier transform can be written as let's say omega naught, cos omega naught t. Then it will turn out to be pi within bracket delta omega plus omega naught plus delta omega minus omega naught, correct? So based on that logic, for this one, what will we get? We will get pi and delta omega plus 2000 pi plus delta omega minus 2000 pi. Okay. Similarly, for sine of omega naught t, what we are going to have is j pi, and instead of having a plus sign in between, we will have a minus sign in between. That is the only difference, isn't it? So if I am going to use this, then let me write it. For sine, it will come as plus j pi in bracket delta omega plus, instead of 2000, it is going to be 4000 pi. So 4000 pi minus delta omega minus 4000 pi. Therefore, the frequency spectrum, can be drawn as, this is for the z, so I will write omega here, and this is x of omega. Okay, now I have to draw first I have to draw for the DC, which I have already drawn here. Now if you look into the equation is 2 pi delta omega, isn't it? You can look at the equation. So the equation is 2 pi delta omega, so this is going to be 2 pi. Next, for cos, if you remember, it was pi, isn't it? So that we will draw it as at 2000 pi, we will draw having a height of pi. Okay, having a height of pi, I will draw for the case of cos. Okay, for the case of cos, it's going to be this one, and it is going to have the values at 2000 pi, and again this one is at 2000 pi. Okay, and both of them are having a height of pi and pi. This is what the equation, just now the equation that we have found out from there. And then for the case of sine, here I have to write minus 2000 pi, correct. Now for the case of sine, it is going to be j pi in the 4000. 4000 it is going to be j pi. So I will draw the same height because in turn it is j pi. So I will just write this is going to be j pi and this is going to be 4000. So at 4000 pi, and at minus 4000 pi it is minus j pi. Okay, now if I would have written the magnitude of x of omega, I could have drawn above, but since I am drawing x of omega directly, I will basically write this, I will draw this in the bottom direction, and this is going to be minus j pi. This is going to be minus j pi at minus 4000 pi. Okay, so this is how the spectrum looks like. Okay, next we can write from here, sorry, I will use the same color. Okay, from here, maximum frequency which is fm is not fm, omega, because it's all in terms of omega. So maximum frequency is going to be omega m is going to be how much? You can see the maximum frequency is 4000 pi, correct? If it is 4000 pi, therefore fm will be equal to 4000 pi divided by 2 pi, which comes out to be 2000 hertz. Therefore Nyquist rate is going to be equal to 2 fm, which is going to be 4000 hertz, and Nyquist interval is going to be 1 by fn, which we just now found is 4000. So it is going to be 1 by 4000, which comes out to be 0.25 milliseconds. So either you use the first method or the second method, the choice is completely yours. Okay, I would generally use the first method because that is more, easy to understand for people. Even you see, most of the time I use this method too in case of complex problems, but method 1 is also okay. So the second problem that we were having was b. If you remember, we had already written b is equal to x of t is equal to sine 4000 pi t divided by pi t square. Now I can write this as a multiplication 2 times, that is sine 4000 pi t divided by pi t into sine 4000 pi t divided by pi t. Okay, now people may think that, okay, if this is the case, then I will try to find out what is the fm here. I will write it as fm1. Here I will try to find out what is fm2, and whichever is the largest I will use. But it's not going to work like this because you don't have an addition in between. What you are having is multiplication, and whenever two signals are multiplied, their value changes. How? Let us see. So if it is addition, if it would have been addition, I would have just found out for one case and then found out what is fm. But here we cannot do that. So I will write, we know that sine omega t the whole square can be written as 1 minus cos twice omega t divided by 2. So using that I can write therefore x of t, pi by t I will take out separately. So let me just write sine square can be now written as 1 minus cos 2 times 4000 pi is going to be 8000 pi t the whole square, not square, just okay, divided by pi t square is there, then we are having a 2, so 2 pi t the whole square, okay, pi t the whole square, which can be written in two parts as 1 divided by 2 pi t the whole square minus cos 8000 pi t divided by 2 pi t square. Therefore highest frequency okay, if you are going to look, this part will not have, only the second part will be having, the second part is having cos, so I will write fm, not fm, omega m, okay, or I can write even fm, no problem, but let me start with omega m is equal to 2 pi fm is equal to 8000 pi, which I can write therefore fm is equal to 8000 divided by 2, which is going to be 4000 hertz. Therefore Nyquist rate is going to be equal to fn, which is 2 times fm, which is going to be 8000 hertz, and Nyquist interval is going to be 1 by fn, which turns out to be 1 divided by 8000, which turns out to be 0.125 milliseconds. Okay, so like this we can solve the problem in each and every case. Next problem, a signal x of t is given by 2 cos 400 pi t plus 6 cos 640 pi t is sampled at a sampling frequency of 500 hertz and then passed through a low pass filter. Okay, so let us look at the scenario, and then we have to find out which all are the frequencies that will appear in the output. So let us do it one by one. So the first thing is I'm having x of t, which is 2 cos 400 pi t plus 6 cos 640 pi t. Am I correct? Okay. Taking Fourier transform, I will get x of omega is equal to, the first one will be 2 pi delta, wait, I have to write it properly, 2 pi delta, omega minus, first is 400 pi, so minus 400 pi plus delta omega, first I should write plus, then minus 400 pi, and the second one is going to be plus 6 pi, cos can be written as, cos can be written as delta omega plus 640 pi minus, not minus, plus delta omega minus 640 pi. Okay, this is the case. Next, what we have to do is we can directly plot, but I will try to write it in directly in frequency, or I will write it as x of f. Now if I am going to write it in x of f, you can look at the Fourier transform. The Fourier transform in with terms with respect to f is going to be 2 then delta f minus, so 2 pi will automatically go from here and you will get plus 200 plus delta omega, not omega, f minus 2 pi will go from here also, so you will get 200. So like that I can write like this. Okay, you can go for either method. I'll first write like this. Therefore, if I'm trying to draw the plot, that is important. If I'm trying to draw the plot, so how will the plot come like? So if I'm going to draw the plot, I have to draw with respect to omega. Okay, I have to draw with respect to omega. So if I'm going to draw with respect to omega, first I will draw for the first one, which is 2 pi delta omega plus omega 400 pi. So I will draw that here. So let me draw that here. Okay, this is at 400 pi. Similarly, in minus 400 pi I will have another one which is minus 400 pi, and both of these are going to have a height of 2 pi as it is written here. So it is 2 pi, 2 pi. Okay, and then I am going to have I will do something. I will draw them more close because I want to draw another figure. So I have drawn them closer because I require the space. Okay, so this is going to be minus 400 pi and this is going to be plus 400 pi. Okay, so this one stands for this and this one stands for this. Next, for this one, so I will start for this part, 6 pi delta omega minus 640. So 640 means again it will come somewhere really close. So let me draw here, and since its height is going to be 6 pi, I will draw it like this. Okay, similarly the other one also I will draw it something like this. Okay, now that's all okay. This is going to be 6 pi, this is going to be again 6 pi, and then here this is going to be minus 640 pi, and this is going to be plus 640 pi. But the problem that happens is that next the frequency with which it is going to be sampled and all is written in 500 hertz, and I have to write it in terms of again omega, isn't it? But here I have drawn it in terms of omega, so fs also I have to write it in terms of omega. So either you convert fs, which is either you convert fs with f omega s, sorry, where omega s is equal to 2 pi fs. So in that case we will get it as 2 pi into 500, which comes out to be 1000 pi. Either we do this, okay, or we convert this by basically converting this particular equation. So how does that happen? For that we can do, what we can do is, so let me rub this one. Okay, for that what we can do is taking ft of x of t again. So I will write here, we know Fourier transform of, Fourier transform, so of cos some 2 pi f naught t. What is the Fourier transform of cos 2 pi f naught as delta f minus f naught plus delta f plus minus f naught plus delta f minus f naught. Okay, now you might be asking, sir, how did this come? Because we have studied with respect to omega naught. We have studied with respect to omega naught. Well, other than omega naught, if with respect to omega naught, if we are having this, we can actually write with respect to f naught also. Okay, that list I will give you, I will provide you, where you can directly write with respect to f naught. Another way that you can do is you can directly, from here, omega is basically 2 pi. Omega is basically equal to 2 pi f. So if you want to make this as a axis of f, that means if you want to make the axis instead of omega, if you want to make it f, you basically divide the whole thing by 2 pi. That is one of the simplest method that can be done. So anyway, based on that, I can write now the Fourier transform of x of t. Therefore x of f, I can now write for the case of first part, which is 2 cos 400 pi, can now be written as 2 will come as such. So 2 delta f plus, now f naught is by taking 2 pi out of 400 pi. If I take 2 pi out of 400 pi, what will remain? 200. So I will write plus 200 plus delta f minus 200. Similarly, for the second function, which is 6 cos 640 pi, I will write 6 within brackets delta f plus, now 640 pi, from 645 pi take out 2 pi, 640 pi divided by 2 pi, if I take it out I will get 320, isn't it? So I will use that function, I will use that, and I will write here as plus 320 plus delta f minus 320. So either I do that, or I directly look at here and I basically divide this thing with respect to, I divide the axis by 2 pi and the amplitude with pi. I have to take care that the amplitude is also, so 2 pi becomes 2 pi divided by pi, which becomes 2, and 6 pi becomes 6. So these two things I have to take care. Okay, so if that is the case, then I will basically write, you might be asking, sir, how are we dividing all this? See, remember one of the properties of Fourier transform that we have studied, that if you are having any signal x of t, and if you multiply, and you know the Fourier transform of x of t as x of omega, if you find out for x of at, all you have to do is divide it with magnitude of a multiplied with x of omega, wherever you see omega, you divide it with a. That is what the basic things mean. So if you are having cos t, if you want to find out the cos t, so that here omega is equal to 1, here we are assuming omega is equal to 1, so generally what will happen, the answer will come as pi delta omega minus omega naught, not omega naught, omega naught here is 1, so I will write minus 1 okay, minus delta omega, not minus, plus omega plus 1, sorry, plus 1. And now if I am going to write that I am going to multiply this with cos 2 pi f naught t, or let me say that I am going to put 2 pi t, so that my omega is now 2 pi. Okay, my omega is now 2 pi. Okay, in that case again the answer will be pi delta omega minus 2 pi plus delta omega plus 2 pi. Okay, and now if I am using this particular principle, then with that I can basically get this equation. So no need to remember all of this, you just simply remember that if it is for cos, this is going to be the equation, and if it is sine, then it is going to be just j, okay, j multiplied with delta f plus f naught minus delta f minus f naught. If you want to write it, you can write it. I will just write it for your this thing, that if you are having sine 2 pi f naught t, the Fourier transform of that will be j delta f plus f naught minus delta f minus f naught. You can write it and you can remember it if you want. Okay, anyway, so this is what we have got. Based on that, if I am again going to redraw the spectrum, so now the axis is going to be f, now the axis is going to be f, and so first I will draw for the first case, which is 200 minus 200. So for minus 200 I will draw at here. Let me draw it like this. Its height is only 2. Okay, and for for plus 200 I will draw it here, which height is this. The next is 320. 320 again it will be close, but its height is 6 times, so I will draw like this. Okay, so the second case also I will draw it like this. So this is what my x of f is, correct? This is what my x of f is. So here it is going to be 200, this is going to be 320, this is going to be 200, this is minus 200, this is going to be minus 320. Okay, but this is simply just x of f. Okay, now I am going to basically sample it. So when I do the sampling, what I have to do, I am sampling it with, so I will write sampling with fs is equal to 500 hertz. So if I am going to sample it with 500 hertz, then what will happen? So when you sample, I have to create replicas of this same spectrum. So let me create the replica. So I am going to create the replica, and the replica of the same spectrum. So this is the replica. I have to keep it at the central frequency. The central frequency I have to going to take it at 400. Okay, the central frequency I am going to take it at 500. Sorry. So when I take this central frequency at 500, how is it going to be? That is what the question is. So first I have to mark 500. So let me assume that this is 500. Okay. Now if this is 500, okay, if this is 500, then first I will have to put from that 500, I have to take 200 minus for the first sample, which is this one, which is 200 minus. So 500 minus 200 is how much? 300. Correct? So at 300 I have to draw the second spectrum. So I will now use a different color because now it's going to overlap. So now I am going to draw, let me reduce the size also. Okay, so at 200, because this is at 250, 320, I have to draw it here. Okay, I have to draw it here. Okay, now since it's going to be a little bit confusing, let me expand it a bit. So I have expanded this a bit. Let me write, this is going to be, this is 0, this is going to be 200, this is going to be 320, again this is going to be minus 200, and this is going to be minus 320, because that became very small. So I have expanded a bit, the image is a little bit bigger. Okay, now where is going to be 500? Let me take that if this is 200, then here it will be 400. So here let me take that this is going to be 500. So from 500, assuming this is 500 now, because I am going to shift this central frequency here. That is what we do. If you remember in the triangle case, we have shifted it like that. So now if I have to draw minus 200 by subtracting it from 500. So 500 minus 200 is going to be, let me change the color. This is going to be at 300. So where is 300 going to be? This is where 300 is going to be. So a small one at 300. Okay, let me use a different color to write it. So this is going to be at 300. Sorry. This is going to be at 300. So this is going to be at 300. Next, at minus 320. So 500 minus 320 will be 180. So where is 180 going to come? 180 is going to come before 200. So it's going to come somewhere here. So this is where 180 is going to be. So let me write that also. So this is going to be 180. Okay. Next, if I am going to write from 500 plus 200, then 500 plus 200 will be basically 700. So if I am going to take almost 200, it will come somewhere around here. And then another one will come somewhere around here. 700. So 500 plus 320 will be 820. So 820 will come somewhere around here. Okay. Let me write those values. So this is going to be 700, and this is going to be 820. Okay, so this is what I have done by taking the spectrum at 500. Similarly, I can take the next spectrum at 2 times 500, which is 1000, but I'm not going to draw here because finally they have said that they want to filter it out at 400 hertz. So I'm not going to do that, but I have to do the other thing. I have to draw for the case of minus 500. So if I'm going to draw for the case of minus 500, the same thing will happen. What I'm going to have is, if I'm going to take minus 500, then minus 500 plus 200, we will have one at minus 300. So minus 300, one of the spectrum will be here. Which one? For this case I'm drawing. Okay. Which case I'm going to draw, I'm presently drawing this case. Okay, if you want me, I can draw it with another color. So let me draw with another color, otherwise. Okay, let me change the color. Okay, this is the color. So now I'm going to draw for this whole spectrum. I'm going to shift at minus 500. So if I have to first mark minus 500, I will first mark minus 500 somewhere around, let's say somewhere around here. So this is going to be minus 500. And then if this is going to be minus 500, this is initially 0. This is going to be taken as minus 500. Then this one will be minus 500 plus 200, which is minus 300. So at minus 300, I have to draw a short one. So minus 300 is going to come somewhere around here. Okay. That is going to be minus 300. That is good. So this is going to be minus 300. And then 500 minus 320, sorry, minus 500 plus 320 is going to be minus 180. And minus 180 we can see is going to be somewhere around here. Okay. That is going to be minus 180. Let me write that also. So this is going to be minus 180. This is going to be minus 180. Okay, and then the other side I will have, so minus 500 minus 200, it will come at minus 700. So at minus 700 means I will get somewhere around here, a small one. And for minus 320 I will get again at somewhere here at minus 820. So let me write that. So it is going to be minus 820 and minus 700. So now you can see this particular color, this goes for a spectrum which is shifted in the negative axis, and the green one is for the spectrum which is shifted in the right axis, and the brown one that you see, the big one, is all in the center. Now we are going to apply the filter. Okay, so after applying filter, so let me write after applying filter. So after applying low pass filter, what will happen to the signal? See, now I am going to scratch away all those spectrum which are outside 400 Hertz, because I am only interested in 400 Hertz. Beyond 400 Hertz, I am not interested in whatever is the value. So where is 400 Hertz going to be? So let me draw that. The 400 Hertz will basically come, let me use a different color. Okay, this one. So the 400 Hertz will basically go from here to here. Correct? The 400 Hertz will basically go from here to here. Outside of that, whatever is the spectrum, I am just going to take it out, because according to my low pass filter, whatever is outside 400 Hertz is not going to be at the output. Okay, so that all vanished off. This 500 will vanish off. There is no other frequency component. The only frequency components that now we are having is basically this. Therefore, so I will write this one as, let me use a different color. So this is going to be at 400 Hertz, and this is going to be at minus 400 Hertz. So the frequencies I can write is, therefore, finally I will write, therefore, at the output after filter. So after filter, the frequencies that remain are which all frequencies? You can see here 0 is, there is nothing in 0. 180 Hertz is there. Sorry. So I will write 180 Hertz. 180 Hertz. (180 Hertz), 200 Hertz, then 300 Hertz, then 320 Hertz. These are the 4 frequencies that remain, isn't it? The negative side, it is all minus, but that does not count, because plus and minus, it's one and the same thing. So these are the frequencies that remain. The another, one another alternate method is, see, the signal that we have got is x of t is equal to 2 cos 400 pi t, if I am correct, it is 400 pi t, 400 pi t plus 6 times cos 640 pi t. Okay, therefore f1 frequency, which is the first frequency because of this one, is going to be 200. How I got 200? If you remember, I told you 400 pi is basically omega, which is 2 pi f1, where if I try to take f1 then divided by 2 pi, pi and pi will cancel, I will get 200. So that fact you know. So from the first part, I am getting the first frequency as f1. From the second part of signal, I am going to get the second frequency f2, which is 640 pi divided by 2 pi, which is going to be 320. Okay, so I am going to get 320 Hertz. This is my f1, which is 200 Hertz. Okay, therefore now after sampling, the frequencies that I will have, okay, So this was the frequency in xt. So f1 and f2 are in x of t. So after sampling, what I am having is the original frequency, okay, f1, then fs plus f1 plus minus f1 I should write, then fs 2fs plus minus f1, then then 3fs plus minus f1, like that it will keep on going up to infinity. But we know that there is no need for us to calculate up to infinity. So one of the frequencies, so f1 is going to be 200, fs is 500, and fs is equal to 500. Okay, so after sampling, so 500 plus minus 200, so 500 plus 200 is going to be 700, and 500 minus 200 is going to be 300. Next, 2fs plus minus f1. So what is 2fs? 2fs is going to be 1000. So 1000 plus 200 is going to be 1200, and 1000 minus 200 is going to be 800. Like that it will keep on going. I can take for 3fs, but it is going to, that you can see that the value is going to go high. Arranging in order, I will get, first is going to be 200, then it is going to be 300, then it is going to be 700, then 800, then 1200, and then it's going to be all higher frequencies. I'm not interested in that. Similarly, f2 is there, so I should find out what is f2. fs plus minus f2, 2fs plus minus f2, like that I have to keep on finding that. So what is f2? f2 is 320, fs is 500, 500 plus 320 is 820, 500 minus 320 is, okay, 500 minus 320 is how much? 500 minus 320 is 180, correct? Then 2fs, which is 1000, 1000 plus 320 is going to be 1320, and 1000 minus 320 is going to be 680. Like that it will go. Arranging in order, I will have, first is going to be 180, then it is going to be 320, then 680, then 820, and then I am having 1320. Like that I will have many values. Okay, so I have to now look at these two, and then I will say, after passing through a low pass filter, I will have 400 hertz cutoff frequency. So I will take in this whatever is less than 400 hertz, which is basically 200. So 200 hertz, then 300 hertz in this row. After that, all of them are more than 400. And in this row, it is going to be 180, which I will write it here. So 180 hertz, and then 320 hertz. Correct? So only that will remain. So this is also another alternate method to find out the same answer. If you are finding the second method easy, you can use that. Thank you.